We're here with the Sony Xperia XZ Premium and we know you're interested in this phone for one big reason, the super slow-mo. This thing can film in 960 frames per second, and while that sounds like a gimmick on the spec sheet, in a test we did in the articulated perfect environments, they were pretty good. So we thought, let's get to the beach and do some of our own testing and find out really how good that slow-mo is. Okay, let's take a look at how easy it is to start the super slow-mo camera. Quickly tag in the camera, and if you're in video mode at the top, you'll start in Superior Auto. You go into video, and then you press this here, this tennis ball. Bright conditions are the best case scenario for it. We found that definitely in the testing. You start the video by tapping the record button, and then you just press it when you want to go. So start it off like that. And when you've got something in the background that you want to take a video of, you just press that and it does a smooth 0.2 second version of that film where it adds in loads more frames. So you've got far more frames to do, and so it gives you that slick, clear, slow-mo footage. At the end of it, you just press stop and you've got your video.
So there are actually two ways you can work with the super slow-mo mode. The first starts recording in 30 frames per second, and every time you tag the slow-mo button, you'll get a 0.2 second boost up to 960 frames. That very short boost is then stretched out to the same 30 frames per second rate as the rest of the video, thus making it look like everything just slows right down. However, you can also set it up so each film is just super slow-mo, a small 6-second clip if you don't want the surrounding footage. It's not easy to find the modes though. We needed to play around for a small while to realise that you can only alter the settings when ready to shoot in slow-mo, rather than in the general menu. It's a common failing of Sony phones. It's obvious when you work it out, but hard to find before. The thing is, while the super slow-mo stuff does look awesome, it's not a primary reason to use the phone. You still have to fire up the camera, swipe to video, then activate the super slow-mo mode. It's, again, a common thing for Sony phones. They'll give you incredible results if, and only if, you're willing to put the effort in. But the footage is amazing. Just shooting and pressing the button instantly results in amazing videos, and when you get it just right, it's insanely good. It does take practice though. We tried again and again to time it right, so if you do decide that this is something for you, then you'll need to learn exactly when to tap the slow-mo button to get the right footage. This isn't always possible, especially if you're trying to capture something like a cat attacking a paper bag for instance, and it will result in disappointment. It's also worth remembering that the resulting movie will be captured in 720p, which looks a bit grainy on the high-end 4K screen Sony has created for the XZ Premium. It's also not great in low light. Things do tend to get a bit noisy, although contrasting brightness can look really impressive if timed right. If you want a phone with super slow-mo capability, well, you've got two choices right now: the Sony Xperia XZ Premium and the XZS. The latter has a slightly less powerful chipset, so you might notice some slight degradation in the image quality, although in our test it just looked utterly identical. One of the things we all wanted in a new phone is something that you can play with, show off to friends, and really feel like is real innovation. And there's no doubt that super slow-mo is just that, on top of an already impressive camera. It's also one that wipes the floor with any slow-motion camera on offer from the iPhone or Galaxy S8. And those are the two most well-known slow-mo capabilities around in a phone. Sony is just light years ahead in terms of its quality than them though. The super slow-mo system here is still a little convoluted to use, and it's too easy to miss the moment at times. However, when you get it spot on, it's a genuine "how can this be done on a phone" moment, and that is really cool. As ever, we want to hear from you. What do you think about the slow-mo camera? Let us know in the comments below and tell us if this is really an innovative feature that Sony needed to make. Thank you for liking, thank you very much for subscribing, and we're here to test phones and we want you to watch them.
I was not expecting that.